I'm not ready to start, but we can go ahead and start, I guess.
Hey, you said go.
Well, sometimes yes means no.
And cancel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a good day today.
We had a fun day. Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell everybody what we did?
Okay. So we went to our local movie theater. Went and watched the good old Deadpool versus Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine, or versus Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Since everybody knows we are big comic book hero nerds. Nerds. It was really, really good. It was awesome. A lot of good things happened in it. We're not going to spoil it. We're going to talk about it next week, though.
Yeah,
give people kind of a chance to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I would hate it if I was listening to something and got a spoiler right off the bat. Like, it's only been out for 2 days, fuckers.
We'll talk about it next week, so y'all have like 11 days to watch it.
Yeah, there'll probably be a whole hour and a half on that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was
after we watch all the Easter egg videos that come out on YouTube.
It was good.
And then we went to Vintage Stock. That's my heaven. Got some. Huh?
I was so bored there.
I don't know how you can be bored at Vintage Stock, considering you are a nerd just like I am.
Whenever I was your age, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I could be in there for hours.
I could be too right now.
But I don't know, as I gotten older, just like I'm still interested in a lot of things there. I'm just not interested in the price. So
that's why you go for comic books, because they're cheap.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Like, whenever I think about comic books, I'm like, okay, I'd like to read them. Where am I going to put them?
I bought a comic book storage box, and that's where I put all my comic books.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Pretty great. So I got some comic books, and then we went to Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Your heaven store.
I do love Hobby Lobby.
I got some original Nintendo coasters.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool shit. You got some sign for the podcast room?
Yeah, so that way I figure, because it happens more often than not, like we'll be doing this and then like somebody will show up and yeah. So
kind of give them a hey ho, we're watching stuff.
Just a little warning light thing. I mean, it's not like we do it every day, but
for some reason, whenever we're recording, someone shows up.
I think it would be fun to do this like more often, but fucking lazy ass.
And then we got Taco Bell.
Yes, Taco Bell, not Lamar Taco Bell.
His dad's got beef with it. Ironic, I know.
Well, they should have took my fucking order.
Who's impatient now?
Patience doesn't count at a drive-through window.
Yes, it does.
No, it don't.
You don't have to cook it. You just got to pay for it, so you can be patient.
They didn't even have to cook it because they wouldn't even take the fucking order.
You say, hey, till they get it.
She got attitude with me. I said I'd be there in a minute.
I do declare it's been a minute.
Bitch, we ain't married. Like, what the fuck are you talking to me like that for? Oh, bless you.
Oh, Lordy. Okay. Sorry, I'm allergic to angry women.
And that was pretty good. No, don't say it, Adam. Then we went to what? Ollie's? Yeah. Never heard of that store.
Neither have I until we went in.
But yeah, the description was in the name. Ollie's cheap.
It was good, cheap stuff.
Yeah,
was the slogan.
Stuff.
It's on the front.
Like, well, what kind of stuff? And then you go in and you're like, oh,
just stuff.
It's kind of like the dollar store, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, all like puked in that store.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, I think it was actually pretty cool.
I mean, they did have some cool stuff.
I did convince you to buy a toy. like I'm some damn child.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It was a sick toy though. Iron Man Mark 1.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking cool. We're gonna put it up here after this.
Yeah. Yeah. Add to the collection. We need to get some shelving in here.
Yeah. I was actually looking online for like display things for like my UFC cards or like comic books, things like that. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I wish I was into UFC more. But
I wish you were too. It's the only sport I watch, and I started getting into the cards, and you're gonna think this is very less of me. After I opened this box, I went back on Amazon. I bought 2 more. This is a $30 box.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making money moves.
No.
In the wrong direction, but there's still money moves.
One of them I opened today is worth $25.
Are you gonna sell it?
Nope.
There you
go. Actually, I might. It's one of those ones that no one gives a shit about.
Why is it worth $25?
Because no one gives a shit about it, so they throw it away, and now it's important.
All right. Which makes total sense to me.
That's the market. I don't know.
I think I know why you got UFC obsession.
Why?
Because
you were a very angry child.
No, actually, whenever let's see, mom was pregnant with you, and after the pregnancy, like you were born and everything, we watched the UFC fighter show. Like it just came out.
Ultimate Fighting Champion.
Yeah, I guess so.
The one by Joe Rogan.
The reality show.
Yeah, with Joe Rogan. Yeah,
I didn't even know Joe. Like he wasn't.
I'm pretty sure he hosted it.
He wasn't on the first season, at least.
Okay.
But anyway, it's got the 2 like name brand UFC fighters, and then where they have a bunch of nobodies that get in and compete and all that stuff. That's where like Joey Diaz.
Yeah. An all-star.
Yeah, but he was just beginning then.
Yeah.
Forrest Griffin.
Okay.
Was on it. Because like the names that I recognize are because I watch that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, like me and your mom were like obsessed with that show for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it was.
Well, I highly doubt that's why I like it, because I don't remember anything about that.
But well, I know, but
there's a connection.
Yeah, like it was like I don't know. It was weird how you just into UFC because I've never watched a UFC fight here.
Yeah,
like that's just never been a thing. I watched football.
Yeah,
which I still feel bad about watching football most of the
time. I'm still mad at myself for not buying the pay-per-view of a couple of years ago. Still mad about it. Actually, it was last year.
What's the price tag on a pay-per-view these days?
A lot. It's like $200, something like that, or
Kiss
more,
my ass.
or more. The one that I wish I would have ordered. I don't remember if it was UFC 298 or 299. It wasn't that. It was sometime last year.
Yeah.
Where Sugar Sean O'Malley was the leading match, and I was really, really pissed I didn't see it. But I got to see highlights and shit, so it was okay.
I can almost like feel Brian's ears perked up, like just waiting. Like you better not fuck with UFC.
Like, Brian. Oh yeah, I fucking love UFC, dude. So good. Officially licensed product, and I've been wearing my UFC hat all day, which I think is funny. Like that's my new nice hat because I've had the same hat for a few years.
Yeah,
that's the only hat I wear, and now I finally got a nice one, and I chose the UFC hat because I don't like complicated hats. I don't like a bunch of shit all over them.
Yeah,
I don't like just blank hats. I like one simple thing, and this has got one simple thing, 3 letters.
All my hats are basically like that. Like I don't have any really flashy hats.
Yeah,
I used to never wear a hat.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, never did. Mainly because my hair wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, your big
Yeah.
old afro.
Oh yeah. You couldn't fit a cap over that thing.
Looked like Weird Al.
Yeah. Yeah. It just got poofed out. Looked like cauliflower everywhere. But yeah. I mean, overall, good day. Taco Bell was good. I was actually like kind of shocked. You're like, all right, we're not going to eat in the car though. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I've been trying to take care of the car, so I said, no, we're not eating it. And everybody listened because I told you to keep the bag up front.
I was fine with it. Um, yeah. So other than that, it was a good day.
So hit us with a hot take.
A hot take, you say?
A hot take.
Okay. If time travel existed, then changing something from the past would change everything about the future.
I think that's true. I agree with it.
Mm. Well, then you kind of get into the like in this question, it kind of gets you in the multiverse of things. Like change something in the past, and you change your universe, so you branch off.
Well, if we think about just like let's single out on the one idea that we are, and we cannot go into other timelines, other universes, just our one universe. Whenever we get in our time machine or use our time machine watch, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and we track back time and we go and change something significant enough that it's going to change significantly later. We change it and we come back. Like the second we come back, it should already be changed.
Yeah, but
Like you come back to a world that you didn't leave from.
yeah, but you're not coming. Well, then you're not coming back to the same world.
I still think so.
It's like that, like go back in time, you kill Hitler,
Yeah.
Well, then Hitler doesn't exist. So then you're not back in the same world.
Yeah, it would all changed.
Right, but like the world that you came from is still going, and you've made a branch going off in a different direction.
Well, that's what I was saying, like keeping it one straight line.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like you come back, change something, where you left from is never going to be the same. It's not going to be the same world you left.
right,
Whatever you do is changing that world you left from.
that's like saying let's talk about water, but water isn't wet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you could. I mean, it's time travel, and we're not doing that supposedly. I don't know. Regardless of what some
It's very
TikToks say.
confusing.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, nobody knows if they're right, if there's a multiverse, if it's a singular line.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I like to think of it like Back to the Future. Like they left, brought back the manual that Biff got,
yeah,
and then whenever they came back to their normal timeline, everything was changed. Where Biff was the top dog, owned everything, made trillions of dollars on sports betting.
right.
Like he knew everything.
Yeah, but like, so
Which doesn't make exact sense because if that book was right back then, came back and betted all this money, then those bets would have changed the likeliness of the games being accurate. So I don't know how he made all that money, but whatever.
well, I mean, why would it change the aspect of the games?
I mean, the way he changed the world, like made it all dark, gloomy, like made so many people homeless, like just made the world a shit place to live in. I feel like that would have aspected the game in some way.
Well, all he just had to stay away from baseball. I guess that's what he was betting on. I think.
Well, baseball players don't just stay in baseball, like they come from normal neighborhoods like anybody else.
Yeah, but like he made his money because like he was betting on the games, and he could still bet on games and whatnot. But like he'd already made the mass wealth, well before then.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Yeah,
And
and he
then
could have played his cards right and kept it in some way without betting.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, I could see I could see that working.
yeah. There's a lot of people making a lot of money, and it's not changing sports, because they're making money.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole I don't know. I mean, the whole like sports gambling and stuff. Like you always hear about people getting in trouble. Pete Rose can't get in the Hall of Fame because of it.
Yeah.
It's like and it's I mean, if he would have betted against himself, you know what I mean? Like if he would have bet that they would have lost,
Yeah.
and then they lost, I could see the point. But like he bet on them to win. You know, like you're betting on he's like betting on himself. Like
Yeah.
you know, like yeah, no, we're gonna win. You know, so yeah, I'll put this money on that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're trying to win regardless whether they bet or not. So I mean, it's kind of I know it's kind of a fine line, but what? Okay, I don't mean to get off on Pete Rose rant.
I want to call back to one thing you said
What?
about water being wet. Um,
No,
it
no,
reminded me of a fun fact.
no, no.
No, it's not a fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Did you know water holds memory?
What?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make it alive?
No. It for some reason I don't remember the exact science of it, but I remember seeing it and then like reading up on it, and it was like actually a true thing. It like if you take water and I don't remember what the thing was, but if you look into the compound it's made of, you can see where it's been and where it came from, and like that would be the memory of the water. Like
Well,
this little cup of water came from places in Alaska. It came from the Indian Ocean. It came from all these different places to make up this water,
so
and that's like the memory of it.
I'm sure how you said that was correct, but how I took it was incorrect. Because I thought you were trying to tell me, like, you know, like whenever you take a bath and you sit your ass down on the water, it remembers what your ass looks like. Like, I thought that's what you were getting ready to tell me. Like, what the hell are we?
No, like apparently the compounds that make up that cup of water tell you everything that it's been, like where it's been, what it did.
Like it's heritage, yeah.
Yeah.
Like where it, well, I mean,
Like it was frozen at one point here in Alaska, and then it made its way down to the Atlantic and combined with parts from the Indian Ocean, all this random stuff.
that's kind of weird because then, like, kind of the, you know, the water cycle,
Yeah.
you know, like all the water that's in the world has been here and stays here. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like basically you're drinking dinosaur pee. You know,
Technically, we're drinking human pee.
yeah. I mean, it all evaporates and goes up in the sky, turns into rain, it falls back down, it goes back into the ground, and that's how it gets filtered and stuff. Then you
Yeah.
get groundwater, we pump it back up, we drink it again. We irrigate.
When we drink water
Mhm.
and we pee, do we pee out exactly the amount of water we took in?
No, I mean, your body will absorb a certain amount of it, and then you'll sweat it out, or you'll pee and get rid of it that way. Um,
So every bit of water that comes into a human being is left at some point.
well, it recycles.
But I don't see how it would go back into like a body of water to evaporate and be precipitated again.
Well, whenever you sweat, whenever you pee, you know, like whenever you're draining fluids of any kind, that's whenever it's going back out. But the water you retain, and, you know, like that's why you're supposed to drink water. You're supposed to stay hydrated
Yeah.
because you're pushing water out. I mean, like I'm pushing out straight Mountain Dew at this point. Like Mountain Dew and energy drinks, like
Nothing but corn syrup and powder.
yeah, like and I don't know. But yeah, whenever you're like getting rid of your water, you know, your water weight or whatever,
Mhm.
um, that's whenever it starts to cycle in. But you retain water, like it just kind of you like your body's a filter basically,
Okay.
and the water you put water out, you take water in, you put water out, take water in.
Well, that's just what I'm thinking of. Like think of an oil filter.
Mhm.
Like, and assuming you don't pre-fill the oil filter, okay?
Yeah,
However much oil you put in is not kept in the car. Like some of it is stored and like kept through the fins in the filter.
right.
That's what I'm thinking. Like a human body, like all the water we put in, we keep and absorb some of it. So,
Well, you'd have to Google me on how much water the human body consists of, but it's a lot.
like the human body consists of that as water.
Yeah,
It's like over 70%.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that's like an oil filter. Like basically, yeah, we are an oil filter.
Let's say I'm just,
or I guess a water filter would be more
I'm
accurate.
just compounding ideas here. So let's say, in some way, I drank like 4 gallons of water in one day. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody came up and strangled me and I died.
Okay.
Okay. And then I was put from that point into a casket, no lobotomy, not lobotomy, no
Embalming.
no embalming, no dissection, none of that stuff.
Autopsy.
Yeah. Um, None of that. I get strangled, put in a coffin.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Coffin in ground. All right.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't that mean that I took 4 gallons of water from the earth? So it's not going anywhere. It's staying in that block of wood with all the sealing stuff around it. It's not going outside of that box for the rest of eternity.
Until the box breaks down and it gets taken by the earth.
Well, let's say that it doesn't. Let's say that the box doesn't break down.
Let's say that air is actually the color pink and we're just colorblind. What are you talking about?
Okay, say it was a steel box that doesn't like a metal that doesn't rust. Okay.
Okay.
That's not going to break down.
Okay.
I'm sealed. I'm welded into it.
Okay.
Okay. With no embalming, none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm welded into this box that does not rust, put in the ground with 4 gallons of water in my body.
Right.
Does that mean I took that water from the earth?
Well, you're in the earth, so no.
Okay, I took the water from the cycle then?
Yeah, you would have taken the water out of the cycle.
So boom, that's cheat code. That's how we get rid of all the water in the world.
So, like,
yep,
you're ready to kill the world? Like,
I think I figured it out.
World destruction? Like,
I don't know.
Are you going to start shaving your head again?
Like, I'm going to start wearing blue contacts.
Yeah, like...
The eyes are blue, but not that blue. I'll wear contacts.
That's your master plan, is to go around and trap people in boxes.
Weld them in.
First, drink this 4 gallons of water.
And then let me strangle you and weld you into a metal box.
I don't think there's anything that can really stand up to the acidic nature of Earth. I think eventually it will always break down.
Okay. I wonder if there is something, what it is. I just wonder.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's things that, like, to our perception, it seems like it'll last forever.
Yeah.
But if you go through, like, I mean, we've been here like a flap on a fly's wing, compared to how long the Earth has been around.
Yeah.
So,
isn't that weird to think?
Well, it's like
we are barely on this world at all.
Yeah.
No matter what we do in our life, we are barely on this world.
Well, it's like if you take something, right, like in my childhood experiences, a wrench, and you leave it out in the driveway or something.
Yeah.
Or in the yard, which my dad was well known for.
Yes. And chains and cars.
Yeah. And in just a matter of a few months, it's, nobody's touched it, nobody's done anything, but it's starting to seep into the ground, like it's pulling it down. And it's weird how, I don't know, that's just some weird shit that I've noticed is like, you lay something down on the ground and then eventually somehow it gets buried, but nobody's ever done anything to it. And then like
gravity.
Wow. Yeah, but I mean,
constantly softening and then hardening the dirt.
Yeah.
With gravity pulling whatever it is down, that'd be it.
Yeah, I mean, eventually get to a point where, you hit rock and then it ain't going nowhere, but yeah. And then like if you leave a chain in the dirt and it sits there long enough, like the earth will eat the chain, like it'll get wet and it'll rust and the acidic soil and shit will actually break the chain. So
it's weird to think about.
Yeah.
The effects of time are crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, we made it back to time.
Oh, look at that. Full circle.
Like a water cycle, baby.
I, I don't know where we're going with the water cycle, but the water cycle thing I've always thought was interesting. But I mean, again, that's a matter of time. Also,
Yeah. It's one of the few things I paid attention to in like class science.
Yeah.
Was the water cycle. I thought it was just so fascinating that we've been retaining the same water forever.
Yeah, and how they say our water comes from, like, asteroids that have hit the Earth. Like the planet was initially dry, and due to asteroids and stuff like that, and we got water, and that's probably how we got octopus.
Yeah.
They're fairly certain that octopus are an alien species, which I 100% believe.
It's just so abnormal to any other species on the planet, and it has no ancestors,
Yeah,
which blows my mind.
yeah. But I don't know. We'll do like octopus later. Like I like this whole like time thing.
Okay.
So, um, I wish that time travel was more. I wish. I really wish we did live in Back to the Future.
Yeah. I wish I was Marty. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Not really getting hit on by my mom, that'd be kind of fucked up. But like everything else about it, pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Running from cowboys.
do you think that they should remake that movie?
I think they should leave it alone, but if they are to do it, a remake, I think there are ways to make it still good.
I
Just no modern director could do it.
Yeah, like like that movie. Like we've watched all of them.
Yeah.
We love those movies, and there is nothing really that risque about Back to the Future unless you really want to make it risque.
Yeah.
Like the ancestral nature, his mom's hitting on him. Yeah. He was getting plutonium from some Middle Eastern terrorist group,
Mm-hmm.
and like, oh, why do you have to be Middle Eastern?
Yeah.
You could pick the movie apart, like, oh, that's not right because it's this and that and the other. And I think that's why it should never be remade,
Okay, yeah.
because like it would like,
As long as it wasn't made by someone trying to meet an agenda, I feel like it would be a good movie.
yeah, but that is movies. Like Deadpool and Wolverine, there was no fucking agenda to that.
Nope.
Like
That was great.
I was really surprised for a Disney movie that wasn't trying to hit you with a message. There were.
Never mind, I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, I mean,
They were a lot more vulgar than any Disney movie I've ever seen.
I think
Without going into detail,
yeah, like
verbally vulgar.
I know Ryan Reynolds is Canadian and Hugh Jackman is Australian,
Yeah.
but I really feel like they voice their concerns for Americans.
Yeah.
like no, we got to make it this way, and I'm sure they were probably pretty steadfast on, we're not doing it any other way. And could you imagine if they tried to recast Deadpool?
Mm.
So,
I feel like they could recast Wolverine at some point. It wouldn't be as good, but they could probably do it successfully. But I don't think they could ever recast Deadpool just strictly for Ryan Reynolds' voice.
well,
They could never do it.
you're right. The Wolverine thing, we'll talk about that next week. I
Yeah.
think because like
I know.
I got some opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about it next week. But yeah, as far as Back to the Future, I know that they would turn Marty to Martha,
Yeah.
right?
And she would look just like Jamboree from the X-Men.
Yeah, and Dr. Brown would be some woman of color because
Dr.
she
Black.
can be a doctor too.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course women can be doctors. No shit. They've been doctors. Like,
Yeah.
we all know that. Like, I don't know. It's like, why are they preaching to the choir? I have no idea.
That's one thing that I always thought was kind of weird. Like, why are they keep trying to preach like women can be successful in the medical field?
Yeah.
Like, There's a reason they've been nurses for so long, and it's because they're good at it. It's not because they are pushed to one job, because they're good at being a nurse.
Well,
Being good in the medical field is like what they're known for.
there was like I mean, back way like before my time, like like you get like a female doctor and people would be like, "Whoa, I mean, she's just a woman," like
Yeah.
there was those stereotypes, like like good girls can't be doctors, like, and I
But
mean,
then just before the doctor came out, there was a nurse handling them to begin with,
right,
and it was a female nurse.
yeah, like nurses do like 99% of the shit,
Yeah.
like. I mean,
I would say with the exception of surgery. But
well,
otherwise, yeah.
yeah, I mean, the doctor like leads it and stuff, but yeah, like, I mean, it's the medical staff that really, really carries people through and helps people and stuff like that. Doctors are great too, but like me, whenever I have a female doctor, I'm happy about it. Like, I mean, whenever I have a male doctor, I'm happy too. I'm happy if I'm able to afford to get medical care,
Yeah.
like if I'm able to pay my deductible, like I'm good with it. Like
Yeah.
I was like, as long as they got a degree and it ain't like from the whatever online degree,
Mm-hmm.
as long as I ain't one of those, I'm good. So I don't know, but wow, I don't know how. Anyway, Back to the Future.
Yeah. Who do you think would be a good replacement for Doc Brown and Marty McFly?
Oh God,
Yeah.
um,
I don't think anybody could do Doc Brown as good. Marty McFly could be replaced.
I mean, if it was like several years ago,
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe would have been a good one. Harry Potter.
For Marty McFly?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because I mean, not during his Harry Potter days. I mean, like he's like a skinny little, nerdy kid or whatever, but like he got like a little buffer,
Yeah.
as he got older and stuff. Like, he was, I don't know. I mean,
He originally got buffer for Guns Akimbo, but yeah.
I mean, uh, would you even want to like try to copy Marty, or would you try to go like the different route, like,
I would probably want a copy.
I,
They don't have to look the same, but I want the same personality.
yeah, I think the personality is what made Michael J. Fox made that movie. Like,
Yeah.
um, that's the whole reason people loved it. But God, who would do a good job? Henry Cavill.
No. Isn't Henry Cavill British?
Yes, I believe so. Tom Holland. I know he's in everything.
Tom Holland would be a great Marty McFly.
Yeah, he's in everything, but I think he would bring that same energy.
I think he would too.
So
That would be good. Doc Brown's a lot harder to recast because he brought such a big personality, and they have to be an old person.
yeah.
Ooh, that the father from Modern Family.
God, I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah,
I really was.
he would be pretty good.
I don't remember his name, but he would be excellent.
If he was a little skinnier, it would work.
Yeah,
It would work good.
We vibing today.
We locked in, boy.
uh,
Just give me a sweet thing. Yeah, he would be a good one.
yeah,
That's weird that we both were thinking that. I don't even watch Modern Family.
yeah.
I just know you watch them, and I'll walk in on it.
Yeah, because like that's so funny. I think now at his age that he probably could do it. Tom Holland, he could do it. I mean,
Ooh, David Harbour would be good too.
no.
He's got a pretty funny personality. He could make it work. He's
Yeah.
old enough now.
Yeah, but David Harbour is David Harbour in every show.
No, he's not. In
Yeah.
Stranger Things, he's a sheriff that fights the Russians at some point. And Black Widow, he is a Russian.
Yeah, so he was David Harbour in Stranger Things, and then he was David Harbour with a Russian accent in Black Widow. So, I mean,
I kind of see it.
Yeah,
It's
like
kind of like Dwayne Johnson. Like he can't be anybody else besides Dwayne Johnson.
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying like like the broody.
Yeah, I
Um,
could see it.
he's a good guy, but
Does it in a bad way.
he's something in his past. But he means well.
Oh,
You know,
I got a good one
like he's
for
in shape, but not.
Doc Brown,
Hmm.
Bill Nye.
Oh God, no,
Yeah,
no. That's where the whole message thing would be.
I don't think he would do a message.
Oh, what?
Did you see his global warming thing he did?
And he ain't gonna do a message?
But he did it in such a funny way.
Well, yeah, because he's not even like
Figure your shit out, people. Like, it was hilarious.
right. But I mean, he's an actor. He's not actually a scientist.
I think he does. I think he does have a doctorate.
Yeah, and probably in something like you'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't
Fact
know.
check me, whatever. But yeah, like just ask the question: is Bill Nye a scientist?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Is Bill Nye a scientist?
I don't think he is.
Let's look here.
The suspense is killing me.
Yep, he is. Bill Nye is a scientist, engineer, comedian, and inventor.
Well, in what was he got a doctorate in?
I don't know.
Yeah,
He went mechanical engineering at Cornell University.
okay.
So he is an actual. Bill Nye holds 3 honorary doctorate degrees.
Honorary doesn't count. That's just
Okay,
being
but he's
famous.
still a certified engineer and went to school for biology.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty cool.
Don't get me wrong, motherfucker's smarter than me all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but that's not a real high bar.
What classifies someone as a scientist? That's the best thing.
Well,
Someone who systematically gathers and uses research and evidence to make hypotheses and test them to gain and share understanding knowledge. So he hits the criteria.
Oh, okay. So Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory is completely wrong whenever he's talking to what's the guy that married the hot blonde chick?
Leonard?
No, not Leonard. The other hot blonde.
There's only one hot blonde. It's Penny.
Be a little more open minded. There's 2 blondes on the show.
I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
There's like Harold or something like that. The nerdy dude.
Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot. Yeah. Howard.
He's an engineer.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And Sheldon gives him shit because he's not an actual scientist.
Yeah.
Because he's an engineer.
It was because he didn't get his doctorate yet. And then he did get his doctorate, and then they had a whole episode about science. He is considered a scientist now.
Right. So kind of like Bill Nye, that doesn't have a doctorate.
To definition, he is a scientist, so I'm gonna take it.
He's an engineer.
I'm gonna take it.
So Sheldon was wrong.
Yes,
Season
that's
1
what I'm saying now. Then,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheldon was wrong on a lot of shit. He was wrong like 90% of the time.
What do you got over there?
I got me a Zen. You want a Zen?
Slide me one.
You want a Zen?
Slide me one. Let's see.
Dad's about to have his first Zen. So hold on, let me get mine out while I'll walk you through this, okay? I know you're a virgin to a Zen.
Feed me, baby bird.
So you take it, you wish it around your mouth for like 1 second. You have to be quick. Just get it wet. And then do you want to be an upper decky or a lower decky guy?
Yeah, this sounds oddly perverted.
You want to be an upper decky or a lower decky?
What the fuck does that mean?
You want to go top lip, bottom lip?
Who would go top lip?
Everybody goes top lip.
The fuck?
Yeah. Right on the top lip. Right in front of your teeth.
No, bottom because I'm a man.
Okay, then you'll have to figure it out on your own.
Jesus Christ.
So just wish it around your mouth real quick, tuck it in the top or bottom. That's it. Put it in. And your mouth is going to burn. So, and your throat will probably burn a little bit too because it's your first one. But, get you a little bit of nicotine.
Yeah.
Makes you not want a cigarette. That's the only reason I do them. I still haven't smoked.
Yeah, I kind of want to smoke while I have this in.
Jamie does.
Oh my.
No, he does not smoke.
Wow, that does burn.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to constantly like sip at it and swallow it. You're supposed to just let it sit.
Yeah.
And it'll make your saliva tingly. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. That's gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah.
He just tongue fucked.
Well, no, I had it in my bottom lip up front, like where you would put chew.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why I hit the top lip. It's a good place to put it. Mustache hides it. Nobody knows. Had one in almost all day today. No one knew.
We're quitting this one hobby, go to another one.
Hey, this is way better than smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And I only do this to not smoke.
I'm out.
You threw it out?
I'm out.
Because you not handle the heat?
No, I don't know. It's not my thing.
Hey, it keeps me from smoking. You know, a cigarette has between 12 milligrams and 24 milligrams of nicotine per cigarette. And these only have 6. So it doesn't give you a buzz. It just kind of satisfies the urge to smoke.
I'll take your word.
You ready to hit us with another hot take? Or you got more about time travel?
I mean, time travel is so complicated to really talk about because there's just no way anybody could know.
This Deadpool Wolverine movie that just came out really hurt my brain trying to figure out how everything actually worked.
Yeah,
because it's just it's above my mental pay grade.
Yeah, let's do a hot take. What we got?
What's the hot take?
And if anybody's wondering, like, what the hell are they talking about with hot takes? I have this hot take card game, and
all the cards have a written hot take.
Yeah, sometimes we pull cards from the pile just to have like random subjects to talk about.
Yeah,
because we're not very creative. So, you should become friends with your ex.
Nope.
I don't think that's as hot of a take as what they think.
Probably not.
Have you ever done it?
Have I stayed friends with an ex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have.
What kind of ex? Like somebody you just dated for a little bit or long term?
I mean, my version of long term is like 10 months. So, yeah, I stayed somewhat friends with that ex for a little while, and it was not nice. Didn't enjoy it. Was sad all the time.
Yeah.
That was not a fan, so I cut it off.
Well, I think like if you're dating somebody, and things just don't work out.
Yeah.
I think it's, it's okay to be friends afterwards, but, as long as you're not going back and forth and stuff. As far as like long-term commitments,
Mm-hmm.
No.
I would say it is okay, but only, I would say it's only okay for this specific reason for co-parenting. That'd be the only reason that anybody should be friends with their ex. In my opinion, that's the only way.
Well,
because there's somebody broke up with the other person, and there are 90% of the time, like, some feelings still there for one or the other person. And being friends with that person does not help.
Right, but I mean, even like co-parenting, you should be able to co-parent without being friends.
Well, I'm not saying go hang out, but you should be able to sit in a social setting and get along.
Well, being friendly isn't the same thing as being friends, and this is, not asking if you should be friendly with an ex. I mean, should you be friendly? Depends on the situation.
Okay.
But to be friends with, and again, I'm saying if it's short term, that's one thing. But if it's like long term, like a marriage, for example, like if there's like a divorce and shit like that,
Absolutely not.
no, no. And you could go into like, well, how did it end and da 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 da. But on average, no, there ain't no fucking point.
It's weird for me to give like a half yes to something because the only reason I give a half yes is because of co-parenting. Like, me, I'm sure most of the people on this podcast know by now that I am an absolute fucking bridge burner. Like, no matter what.
Yeah.
if you fuck me, I'm gonna fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there's nothing.
Well,
Then co-parenting, don't hurt the kid because of your guys' problems. You know?
right, and I agree with that. I mean, for the most part, you know, regardless of some rumors, um, me and your mom like fairly co-parented well. You know,
All right, sure.
well, like you guys would. Usually it was whenever you guys got in trouble, whenever I get the phone calls. I usually didn't.
That's where I kind of
Yeah.
because you were used as a punishment for years.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah. Okay, so maybe
Like
that.
like I would say a good like 40% of my childhood you were used as a punishment.
Yeah.
I will call your father.
Well, and you'll find this out whenever you get older, but like, the dad should be kind of like the villain,
Okay,
you
I
know.
guess so.
Well, you should be the rule setter and the enforcer,
Yeah, I do agree with that.
you
Yeah.
know. And it's not usually like I know you guys felt bad whenever I would punish you guys, but I felt just as bad or worse, you know, because I hated it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I never really looked at it that I was used as a punishment mainly.
Do you see it now though? Like, does it kind of make sense?
And now that you say it, yeah, because I didn't get a whole lot of phone calls for the good things. Like,
No.
yeah,
As far as I remember, you didn't get a phone call for almost any of the good things.
yeah.
Very rarely. And that's not a diss. None of this is a diss on my
No,
mother.
no, that's not a diss. Because,
This is just how I interpret it as a kid.
right, well, it's like, so, are you going to leave a good review online? No.
No.
Would you leave a shitty one? Yeah. you know,
Yeah.
if it's, and so like if things are going good, well, you know, who's going to think of, the schmuck that lives across town, I get it, you know. But yeah, I guess I just never seen it. Kind of weird. um,
And we talk about my childhood a lot on this podcast.
that's not a bad thing.
But we only talk about the bad parts. We don't really talk about good parts of my childhood.
Well, you keep telling me that you don't remember any of the good parts.
Yeah, I remember some good parts.
Let's focus on those.
Well, there's a lot more bad.
Well, son, that's everybody's life.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody.
I just noticed that we talk about it a lot.
Yeah. Like I thought I had a horrible childhood growing up.
I don't think I had a horrible childhood, but I know you're not saying that. But
Right, but no, like I thought I had like I don't know. I just thought I had a bad childhood, and like I didn't like the way I grew up, and I didn't like how my parents were, and da 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 da. And then as I got older, I'm like, I did some pretty cool shit when I was younger.
yeah,
You know, um, and then turned out that I actually had a good childhood.
yeah.
So it just kind of depends on where you're at in life and how you look at things. But I definitely want to get off of exes though. Like I don't want to talk about that shit.
You need something left field here.
Yeah, give me something.
Outer space.
The final frontier.
Sure.
All right. What about outer space?
I know we've talked about it a lot, but I'm hitting it in a different perspective here. Do you think that we are the only ones in our universe? Like, I'm not talking like big black-eyed aliens, like green aliens, nothing like that. Like, are there other organisms in the most basic form on another planet in our universe?
Yeah, they've proven that on Mars.
Yeah.
There's bacteria up there, which is form of life.
Yeah. I think so. I was just asking you.
Yeah. The whole thing about so the conspiracy theories, right, have always been they're aliens, right?
Yeah.
And people are crazy. and they believed in aliens. Well, then like they're like open about, you know, yeah, oh, yeah, there's aliens, right?
Yeah.
So naturally, we would have to then take our conspiracy theory and then make a new one. So like now, the theory is that the conspiracy theory is that um, well, yeah, they're aliens, but not how you're thinking of them. They're actually more celestial
Hmm.
and they're interdimensional. So like they're on an Earth too, but they're like coming over to our Earth, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It's not uh, like so we get an answer, and so then we immediately question, make another question for another answer.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why we have to do that as a society. You know, like
Hmm.
I enjoy facts, right? Like I don't really care for emotions that much.
Hmm. Me too. Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, I just said I don't like emotions and I use the word feel. But, you know, like why are we doing this? Like, I mean, like, are we making up another alien conspiracy to try to sell books, to make money?
I mean, Discovery Channel's been slacking for a few years, so
Yeah, I mean,
they can only do so many Bigfoot shows.
but I mean, I'm ready to be in Star Trek and to just put all this shit behind me.
Why do you like Star Trek so much? Because I have never watched anything Star Trek. I've always been a Star Wars kid. Like, why do you like it?
Well, the the society of it, like it's a, I know it's a fantasy show,
Yeah.
right? But it's a very fact-based fantasy.
Okay.
You know, like um, so like the whole premise is that, yes, there's a government and it's a world government, which I know you say that on the air these days, and then all of a sudden I'm voting for Kamala, you know, which I'm not. It, in some wide words, fuck that bitch. Um, but like there's a world government. Um, uh, Economy is like there's no money. Like you're working, but you're not getting paid.
Okay.
You're just taken care of, but you're not being overworked. Like you have this job that you enjoy, that you want to do. You just learn how to do it and do it well.
So, if communism worked, then
Oh man, I know a lot of people are going to hate this, but socialism, which is communism,
okay.
basically, uh, socialism is the key to happiness for everybody.
I canceled.
Yeah,
Explain.
right. But it will never work
Okay.
because people are in charge of socialism. So socialism is supposed to be equality for everyone, right?
Okay.
Like everybody has the chance of getting the exact same thing, right? Like, mm, well, like my house is paid for, right?
Okay.
So I don't have rent. Um, they feel like everybody should not have rent. Well, who's going to build the houses? You
Yeah.
know, um, like why would you build a house if you're not going to get paid for it? Stuff like that. Um, but they want the government to subsidize everybody, and like you build this house, and then you get into like the cheapest made cookie cutter houses. So like everything becomes bland because there's no way to put your personality out there. Like I've always wanted a pink house. Can't have that because you know we don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
but everybody would be free to do whatever they want to do. Like you want to be a painter, be a painter. You want to be a musician, you want a podcast, whatever. Like you get to pursue your interest, and then like it's mandatory that you do this work, da 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 da. But you know, it's a very complicated system, and that's basically what Star Trek is like a socialist paradise.
Yeah.
Um, and they do it well, but in reality, it'll never work because people are in charge and people are greedy and they lie and they steal and they cheat.
Yeah.
That's what people do. They try to get the most for themselves and theirs, and they don't care as much about everybody else. I mean, if I don't know, let's say that's why like most companies have uh, nepotism in their handbook, right? Like, I can't hire you to do a job, where I work because I would show favoritism to you.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in a position of power and I have a choice of making my sons better off and foregoing everybody else, then I would do that. Most people would.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I mean, not like currently or anything, but I mean, like if it was like a large sum, I mean, because I'm like, if I was like a shift manager at McDonald's, and you and your brother came to work there, there's not a whole lot I can do outside of like, no, you don't have to do the fryer,
Yeah.
like, so I mean, there's no risk to reward there. But yeah, if you're in charge of the government and how they spend money and how, yeah, we'll allot a couple billion over here they're good boys. They're good boys. Yeah. So, uh, and I like the diversity of Star Trek. There's a lot of different alien races and, like they always have interesting problems, stuff like that. I'm not saying it's better than Star Wars.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
There's a
think,
reason why one's successful and one's not.
well, Star Wars can never be a TV series. Star Trek can never be a movie series. I know they've done some Star Trek movies.
There's some pretty good Star Wars shows too.
There's Star Wars TV shows.
Like streamed on television.
Yeah.
They could do it. They would just take the shows that they have on Plus and just slowly release them. I think it'd still be good.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, outside of the Mandalorian, what else you got?
Ahsoka, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Andor.
Andor, I doubt it.
Okay, well, still, you got two good shows that they could just build off of.
Ahsoka, like to me, Ahsoka is just a really long movie.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's like
So is The Walking Dead.
It's a long, low budget movie.
So is The Walking Dead.
It started off that way, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a TV show and started going downhill. I'm sorry,
You tell them.
but yeah. I mean, I don't know. Will you do me a favor and watch some Star Trek? Not the new movies or anything like that.
Like original. What's the original show called?
Star Trek.
And then the next one's Next Generation?
The Next Generation.
Okay.
I would ask that you watch The Next Generation or Deep Space Nine.
Okay. What are they on streaming platforms?
Yeah, but the only problem I think is Paramount Plus.
Ah.
That's where they get us.
Then good luck.
Well, I mean, I've thought about getting Paramount Plus.
Oh my gosh.
I've thought about it, but I'd have to drop one.
Don't drop one for Paramount Plus.
I don't know. I mean, Netflix kind of fucking up lately.
Actually, we don't have Prime anymore, so you could do Prime.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
When did you use it last?
Well, I watched the season finale of The Boys
How long ago was that?
last week.
Oh, then you have it and I don't.
Yeah, I'm not paying for two primes.
Oh no.
Yeah. Like,
Well, I guess you're gonna have to give me your login.
the fuck you say?
I lost mine. I don't know what happened. It just not worked no more.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting on that Spotify login and the Audible login. That you made me pay for Audible for 10 fucking years.
That's something still fucking crazy
Yeah.
to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, tell the people about
Okay.
that.
So whenever I was like, I don't know, like 10, 9 or 10, I wanted Audible. Okay. I wanted to be able to read my school books without having to read them. Okay. I was trying to cheat code at 9 years old. With shit like Junie B. Jones, like random shit. Okay. So I said, Dad, can we set up Audible? He said yes. I took his debit card. Went and set up Audible, right?
I'm not sure you asked me that,
I
but
think I did. Who knows?
you still have my old debit card memorized.
I do. 5.
No.
So I asked. He said yes. I set it up. Used it for like that day. I don't think I used it past that day. And then for some reason, we just never canceled it. And I've gotten emails because I've had the same email address since then. And I've gotten so many, like thousands, because you have kept paying for Audible for the past 10 years.
Yeah, because
At least 9 years. At least.
I didn't know what it was. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I knew what Audible was, but like, I see it come out of my bank account.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was only like what, like $5 a month?
yeah, it was something small. I was like, huh, wonder what that is. Should probably ask Colby about that sometime. Yeah, and then I never would ask you about it, and eventually I did, and you're all like, "Oh yeah, I got that like 3 years ago." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Well, what's the login?" I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I
I
guess
don't know why I said I don't know. I know what it is right now because it's the same thing as my Amazon.
well, yeah, but
It's owned by Amazon.
you don't like to tell me shit sometimes."
I have offered to give you Spotify so many times, and you've turned me down every time. So you can't keep bitching about it.
Yeah, I can. That's why I keep turning it down, so I can keep bitching about it.
That sounds about right. But anyway, after that day, you just kept paying for it, and now we're at 9, 10 years something.
Yeah. Oh, it's canceled now.
It's canceled now because you had to get a new debit card.
Yeah.
So that's pretty damn funny.
You have no idea how much money I've saved because Jamie got his account hacked.
No more V-Bucks.
Yeah, like, and I don't even know if I ever got that money back,
Who knows?
but at this point, I'm so far above what they stole. So, you know what? It's on me.
She broke, I'm up.
Yeah. So, God, what were we talking about?
Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some way we can watch, you can probably watch it on Prime. There's some Star Trek stuff on there, I think.
Yeah, I might have to rent it, but it'll be on there either way. You can find absolutely any movie ever, unless it's banned in our country on Prime.
I know, which kind of makes me want to get a VPN.
Yes, we can go see those banned movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watch because Netflix is completely different over in whatever other country you go to. Which is so cool. Yeah, right. But I mean, it's not just like their shows, like our movies
Mhm.
that are put out over there is a totally different slate of what they give us here.
Yeah, like let's say over here we don't have the Transformers movies, but for some reason in fucking London,
Yeah,
that version of Netflix has every single Transformers movie. It doesn't make sense.
I know people think that like VPNs are like web security. It's not. It just changes your IP address.
Yeah, that's all it does.
To where you can view different stuff. So like, it's not for that. So
yeah,
but they're still cool, and you can like get. I don't know. You can go play in like different countries. That people use on like the Call of Duty thing to get in like low lobbies. Like,
yeah,
that's what a lot of the content creators do. go to like low ranked lobbies, but they're high ranked, and then they destroy everybody. Like, look how awesome I did, and then offline they're playing it on an American server, going fuck,
What?
uh,
He just turned into a 3-story building.
Did you hear about like people like canceling Netflix though?
Why would people cancel Netflix?
Because they gave money to Kamala Harris.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit either.
I'm not a fan of her, but I like the shows, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to be more like not my whole life is not going to revolve around who's voting for who. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
yeah, the owner of Netflix is all like, yeah, I like this guy, and I'm gonna give him money. Now, I think it's bullshit. I don't think companies should be able to give money. You know what I mean?
I think individual people, like the CEO, can, but not under the company's like name.
Well, I mean, they don't put it under the company's name, but you know, everybody know like political contributions are public. Like, you know, like it's recorded that you get. It doesn't matter if it's $5 million or $5. It's recorded.
Yeah,
because they have to account for all that money, you know, for election laws and shit like that. But why the fuck are elections coming down to fucking money and like
just promotional dollars, like getting their ads and campaigns out to as many people as possible.
yeah, but that's what the news is for.
Well, you know, the news sucks.
Well, yeah, the news sucks, but I mean, the the news the news is supposed to be factual and informed, and I have yet to see that in any broadcast in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it. I mean, it used to be you could watch the local news and you know get like the facts and shit.
Yeah,
But like all the local news channels are all owned. Like this group is owned by this one, and this group is owned by this one, and they get scripts.
yeah,
So, like a news anchor is a paid actor
yeah.
reading from a script to an audience. That's
I mean, that's what they've always been, though, just on a different scale. Like they were getting fed true stuff originally.
they were getting stories, and then they were telling the story.
Yeah,
You know, this happened. This is why it happened, and this is what they're doing about it.
yeah,
You know, that's a news story. But now it's all these innuendos, and now the thing is, like with the Trump thing, well, he didn't actually get shot. That was a piece of shrapnel, you know, from a bullet. You know, like
if you get shrapnel from a bullet and it hits you,
it's
you
still
got shot.
Yeah, you're still getting shot.
Yeah.
Um,
If a bullet hits you at a high speed, you got shot.
they've given out Purple Hearts for like stubbed toes. So, like, you know, I mean, the whole Purple Heart thing. That's
Be careful.
yeah, I know, but like, the people that get it, they've all deserved it and stuff like that, right? I think, but you do know that there are a couple that like they know somebody that knows somebody, and they got a paper cut one time. Yeah, I kind of need a medal because my left side of my jacket's a little lighter than the other, you know. So
I don't think that's true, but
if you look through it, yeah, you could. You'd see it.
well, in this current moment in time, I don't. But
Yeah, but I mean, like all the ones I've met, you know, like they've been wounded in battle and stuff like that and everything.
Yeah.
Which I don't, you know, a medal is nice, but I think they deserve so much more whenever something like that happens.
oh yeah, they definitely deserve more.
Yeah, like I don't know. I love the military, like all the branches. Well, Navy, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Space
Navy.
Force ain't in there.
Navy's all right, but
The Navy is up the lower your list. That's number 2
number 2.
for me. That's number 2.
Well, I don't. I really. I mean, I don't get into
Yeah,
rank
yeah.
in military, but
Me and Colin just had a bicker about this the other day.
Yeah.
He didn't like our Army stood on my list. I had full respect for the Army, though. We couldn't have a good country without the Army. I'm just thinking about all the other ones.
You didn't rank Coast Guard above it, did you?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No, the bottom two, very bottom was Space Force, then it was Coast Guard.
He was so fucking on site you. Like,
He would Army me.
oh my god. But yeah, like I don't know, like me personally, I've always thought that, like, because I mean, usually you're young when you go into the military, like you're 18, fresh out of high school,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Why are we pretending that age has some magical number on maturity, right? I mean, if we can take this 18-year-old kid, put him in a multi-million-dollar tank,
Yeah.
or uh, working on this multi-million-dollar aircraft, or millions of dollars in equipment, to go do these operations overseas and stuff like that. But he can't go to a bar,
Yeah.
then because he's not responsible enough to drink.
Yeah.
What kind of horseshit?
I don't think maturity is counted by age, because especially working in the field that I work in, I've met people through work that are 4 times my age, and I am significantly more mature than them. And I've met people a couple years younger than me that are significantly more mature than I am.
Yeah,
I've met people that are older than you
yeah,
that I, at my almost 20 years of age, can run laps around them in this low male performance in mental capability, physical, social interaction. I can beat them in absolutely everything, and they're older than you.
yeah.
Like, it's maturity, respect, everything. And that's why I don't think this job has proven that for me, that age does not qualify it.
Well, I mean, I like I see people like my age and everything that are far more successful than I am,
Yeah.
right? And there's not a big list, but there's a list that are far more successful. But there's a bigger list that I don't know what they did. I mean, at our age, we should have it figured out. But I mean, that kind of just goes from like person to person, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I see so many people that struggle just to go to work every day.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're talking 5 days a week. Like it's 5 fucking days. Like for me, I don't understand it, and I know, like, looking at the jobs that are out now, it's like yours, isn't as hourly intensive as like what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing, because it gives you more free time to actually work on your life and to be happy and stuff like that. I don't have that time. Like, I legitimately had to marry my credit card
Yeah.
just so I could stop making overdraft payments. So, well, not overdraft, but late fees.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to use auto pay and shit like that. Which I love that shit. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what. I'll never understand why people struggle with that so much.
Yeah. I mean, I've struggled with that before, but I also was a teenager, but I think for adults that can't do that, I think it's like just people raising their kids to be weak now. Like, if you compare, like, just alone, like, I'm not a weak person,
Mm-hmm.
And if you just compare how you were raised versus how I was raised,
Mm-hmm.
like I was raised as a pussy in comparison,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And just think about the people that were raised same differences between me and you and that are still that way. Like that's the reason why. Because people have gotten it harder than you and easier than me and harder than me and easier than you.
Mm-hmm.
And they are still weaker minded than anybody that's come before them.
Well, I mean,
I know that sounds very David Goggins of me, but it's true.
I've had some relation, we'll say. Like I ain't gonna call out names or anything, but um, they were like they were given basically everything. Like and you say that like I say that, and it sounds kind of somewhat in a jealous tone,
They were given every opportunity.
right?
Yeah.
But well, and they were given like like I remember like they had a new vehicle. I'm being kind of bland because I'm not trying to call anybody out, but
Yeah.
um, and they're not going to listen to this anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But they were like new vehicles, new clothes all the time. There was no hand me downs,
Yeah.
you know, and like they were never like they never had to be a hand, like they weren't sweeping up in the shop or digging the ditch or anything like that, in their dad's business. Like they were always like a manager, let's say.
Yeah.
Um, and, younger than you right now and, being a part of these multi-million-dollar jobs and just could have done that the rest of their life. But,
Yeah.
we decided to do a little drinking and then a little mething and a little bit of pill popping,
Are you guys just messing around?
and I mean now it's all gone.
Yeah. Threw it all away.
Yeah, and you see that wasted opportunity, and you just wonder why. I mean,
Yeah.
addiction's a horrible disease. It really is.
Now we're talking.
But I mean, the controversial thing is that addiction isn't a disease. It's a choice.
I think it's circumstantial. Like that conversation is circumstantial.
Well, I believe in an addictive personality.
Elaborate.
So I have an addictive personality. Like you've seen me like get into things like way too much.
Okay.
Yeah, video games would be a prime example of that.
Yeah.
My World of Warcraft thing I had for a while. Like I have an addictive personality. I choose to because after I recognized it and decided that this isn't what I want, I made choices to get away from it. I still battle it, and I can feel a slip every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I also smoke. I also drink soda. You know,
You want to know why?
tell me.
I mean, of course, I'm not a professional, but I do work in the field.
Uh-huh.
If I had to make an assumption, I would say it's weak self-discipline
Yeah.
because you hyperfixate on something that you really, really enjoy, and then you don't have the self-discipline to pull yourself out of it. Like, I don't remember how many times you said, like, I'm not drinking any more soda, or I'm going to cut back.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple weeks later, you're back drinking full amount.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to cut back smoking cigarettes, and then you come back even harder. Or you'll get a game that you really like, and you will grind it out until it's over, and then keep playing it.
Yeah.
And I do the same shit sometimes, but that's where it's sourced from, this lack of self-discipline. But you don't have that in every aspect of your life because you don't let it control you, and you still go. Yeah, I've only seen you ever miss work when you physically couldn't go.
Yeah.
Like you have obnoxious self-discipline for work and building money, but simple things like in your free time, that's the one thing you don't have full self-control of.
Well, I don't like I don't like to think on my free time. Like
That's how I am too. Yeah.
I don't know, like my head feels so chaotic on a day to day.
Yeah.
And it's not just work. I mean, it's, all aspect of life, like I'm always thinking about work and thinking about like you and your brother and things I can do to help myself and what I should be doing, self-doubting, the adult version of me, which always needs work. Shit like that. So like whenever I get to where it's like tomorrow, for example, what I should do is clean the garage. That's what I should do.
Yeah.
What I'm probably gonna do is not that. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So yeah, there's. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of self discipline that I need to work on outside of work. So,
Just one thing I figured out.
I like it though.
We should do our last card here because I have work and I have to go to bed for it. So
All right, last
we can talk about it in depth. We need to get going.
Okay.
To the next thing.
Is pretty privilege real?
Yes. That is the only reason Kamala Harris is in this race.
No, I said pretty.
She's not anymore.
She used to date Montel Williams. I don't know.
The only reason she is where she is.
Yeah, like I don't know if you knew, like actually knew who that was.
Yeah, I of course I found out like they were connected through TikTok.
Yeah,
But that is the only reason the way she is right now because she got a little bit of fame from him, built off of it, made a bunch of money, and is now running in a political race.
Well, we are definitely outside of the algorithm on this one because we talk shit on Kamala.
Do I?
We just did.
No. Do I look like I give a fuck?
Oh, well, I didn't know we were going down that road. I don't give a fuck either.
That is the only reason she's where she is in life. And as much as everybody loves her and she is so amazing and so hot, that's the only reason Megan Fox is the way she is. She is not a good actress. She is only there because she plays the stupid hot role.
Well, I mean, she can't now.
But you don't get what I'm saying, though.
Right.
That's the only reason that people know who you're talking about when you say Megan Fox.
I think a Transformer Megan Fox, but yeah.
Yeah, and she was really, really hot in it, and her acting was really, really bad.
Well,
same thing in the Ninja Turtles movies.
There was no Oscars that are ever going to be won in Transformers or the Ninja Turtles.
Well, do you get what I'm saying? Like, she is not known because she doesn't do good in those movies. She's not getting offered big movie jobs.
But yeah, nobody does good in those movies though. Like, it's not.
Shia LaBeouf did pretty good.
Yep, he did a popcorn version. Yeah, like
he did. He went on to do some good things.
Popcorn movies are not. You're not throwing your fucking Oscar performance out there.
Yeah. But that's why I agree with it so hardly.
Yeah,
and it goes for men too. Like,
you think?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. That whole Glenn Powell guy.
Who?
The guy in Twisters.
Okay.
And the only reason that he is where he is because he's attractive.
I don't think so.
I bet if they.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's unheard of for a guy to get pretty privilege.
Yeah.
But I don't really think that. I mean, the whole like Hollywood casting couch thing wasn't filled with dudes.
So, but let's say that role in Twisters, same acting value, same everything he would bring to the character was replaced with Danny DeVito. You think that movie would be as good?
No, it'd be considered a comedy because he's old and fat.
But I'm saying, like,
you know,
lines, every single line is the same.
yeah,
Every bit of acting skill is the same. You think it would do just as good as Glenn Powell?
right, but nobody take it serious.
Yeah, that's the pretty privilege.
Well, no, that's just okay. Whenever you think of a hero,
Yeah,
what do you picture?
a pretty privileged guy.
Right, like you're you're not seeing me play Superman, right?
Right.
Because they'd have to let the suit out. Right?
They'd have to end game Thor you.
Yeah, because whenever they did that with Chris Hemsworth
Hmm.
and did the end game Thor with him, you know, where he's overweight and all that, got the belly,
Yeah.
he immediately went to a comedic joke.
Yeah.
He had a very sad story.
Yeah.
He had lost his dad, his mom,
Yeah.
his brother, his best friend, um, and everybody else that he had any kind of relationship with on his home world. He is basically completely alone.
Yeah.
And so we all laughed at him.
I mean,
Um,
that's as much as I hate to say it, as a big dude, that's the only way that big dudes can make it anywhere in movies is by being funny. Think of any big dude in Hollywood
mhm,
and think of them as any role.
right.
They are always the funny role.
Well,
Kevin James, every single role he's in is funny.
yeah,
Danny DeVito, every single role he's in is funny. Chris Farley, every role, every skit, everything was
mm,
only for comedy.
right.
That's the only reason they make it. Because they actually have to have personality.
Well, because they fit the bill of a hero, whereas somebody like me does not.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm sure I know firefighters that are bigger than you, and they're still considered heroes. I know you're talking about superheroes, but
right. I mean, we're talking about Hollywood. I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, of course, there's firemen and policemen and military. Even, I mean, not
yeah,
everybody in the military is cut. You know,
yeah.
I mean, I watched that one with it was like a drone pilot deal. It was actually really good. I can't remember the name of the movie. Had Russell Crowe in it.
Okay.
He was like action hero body
Yeah,
for like a long time, like in Gladiator and stuff like that. And then eventually I don't know, got into my mindset and was like, fuck it.
yeah.
Like I like food. But yeah,
I mean, Chris Pratt kind of proved it.
yeah, because he was a bigger guy and he was comedic, and then all of a sudden,
Now he's ripped, an attractive dude. He's still got a good amount of the funny,
yeah,
but he's more of the hero type now.
right. But I mean, that's only because they fit the build of what you're envisioning Superman to look like.
Okay.
You know, yeah, they're. I don't know. I mean, it's not. I know I see girls get pretty privileged a lot,
Yeah.
and
I think it's more common in women.
yeah, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, I mean, sure, you got your pretty privilege. Fucking use it. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I see it with waitresses at the truck stop, right? Like,
Okay.
you know, they're like let's say they do a standard job, right?
Yeah.
Serving. You get your food regular time. You get 2.5 refills. Everything's like on average and standard.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to how attractive they are is what the tip is based on.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't tip that way. I mean, I tip, I tip based on refills because
Yeah.
I'm a fat ass.
On refills and how fast I can get my ranch.
refills on personality. I mean, tipping is such a weird, archaic structure. Like I don't like it. Like I'm a big tipper, but somebody that isn't a big tipper.
Yeah.
And I think it's rude to not tip well. You know,
I I would like to say that, but as someone who makes the money I make, I tip what I can without being disrespectful.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like if I go to a cafe and my food and drink and everything is $15, I'll probably tip like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But if I go to like if I'm big balling, going to like Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn or something, the tip's going to be on average over $10.
Yeah.
For me personally alone.
Right. Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, you got to take your own personal finances into account whenever you're tipping.
Yeah.
But like well, like my dad, for example, like he'd go up there and he'd get coffee, right? And that's all he'd have is coffee. He'd probably get, I don't know, 4 to 6 refills, right? And then he would tip a quarter, and I never liked that. I never tipped less than $1 whenever I was just drinking coffee. And this is like,
I don't think I've ever tipped less than $1.
yeah, but I mean, this was like 20 years ago. So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
now it's like I'm tipping like
$5.
Yeah, that's usually my lowest tip is like $5. Because I don't know, I just feel it's fair. They have to go back and forth. They got to listen to a lot of bullshit and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty privilege definitely plays a part in that industry. In Hollywood, I mean, it even matters at the gas station. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems to matter everywhere. And is it fair? No, I don't think it's fair. I don't think people should be treated differently just based on their looks, except for like like I don't know, like single dudes like trying to get to know a girl.
Yeah.
Like of course they're going to treat them differently because they find them attractive and they're looking for a mate and stuff like that. That's why I enjoy my age, is even though I'm single, I don't give a fuck. like, oh, she's pretty. Yeah, that's cool. Bring me my fucking burger. Like,
Starting to sound like Andrew Tate a little bit.
oh, she's pretty. Yeah, but it's hot out. I'm not going to stand here and hold the door open. Like, I'm going in. So, I mean,
man, all this cafe talk's got me hungry.
what?
I might hit up a to-go Judy's.
What are you thinking?
I think I might hit up a to-go Judy's after this.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, I gotta go to bed. So maybe not.
Okay. You can't build me up like that and then just drop it. Like,
I'll order yours. You just gotta go pick it up. I'll call it in.
I'm not gonna pay, dude. I ain't even got no pants on. Don't.
Yes, you do.
You're not supposed to look.
I just realized.
Yeah.
Why would you say that and then me run down and look?
Yeah. Well, it's how quick you like went down to look.
Well, because I knew walking up here you didn't have no pants on. You had pants.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a damn minute. He just stripped while we were doing mid podcast.
I mean, it's warm up here, but
No, not.
they're gray sweatpants. I don't want to leave.
All right.
Okay. Like
douche ass.
I know. It's just gonna be like fries and gravy because
Fat ass.
we don't give a fuck.
Oh, I'm so excited for my other UFC cards to come in.
Yeah, you ordered more, huh?
Yeah.
Money moves.
I ordered 2 more boxes. Spent a total of $90 in cards that I'm gonna like put in sleeves and not touch for years.
Yeah.
I'll just look at it every couple months.
Yeah, every time I look over at your drum set, I just want to touch it.
You can touch it. I leave sticks up here for when I want to play it or if you want to play it.
Nah.
You break it.
I ain't got no rhythm.
We know.
Uh,
That's one hobby that I wish I would get more like full-fledged into. Like I still play them kind of often. Just it's hard to do it on such a small scale because I wish I had a full-size set. This is a very small set.
I mean, do you feel like you're good at it?
Yeah, I want to say I'm good at it. Yeah.
Well, it's like the guitar, right? Like I like almost feared picking that up and like trying to learn something.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to do it, but I was interested enough to do it. And I thought it'd just be cool for you. So,
Yeah, it was. It
yeah,
was a staple to my childhood.
um,
Was your banjo and your guitar and
yeah,
your harmonica, especially.
I mean, that's the only reason I haven't played since then,
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but Jamie, he can attest to it. Like in the very beginning, when you're first learning how to play, you don't want to fucking do it at all.
yeah.
And then you find like one song that you do well, and you'll do that shit over and over, and because you're accomplishing something, and they'll lead you into other things. But yeah, like I didn't know if you felt like you were doing well on that or
I mean, I definitely find difficulty in some things, but like I can't play no fucking Slipknot. I can't do that. But I'll get you your Leonard Skinner, your AC/DC, your Nickelback. I'll get you those. But no, like Five Finger Death Punch, no Slipknot.
yeah,
I can't do that. It's too fast, and they have like so much bigger set than I do. Because this one's only got 4 drums on it,
yeah,
including the snare is only 4, and they're playing on like an 8 head drum set, almost double me, or that is double.
yeah. But I mean, you gotta be able to play the four before you can play the eight.
Yeah, I really wish I had. I might see about doing it if I can get a splitter, like a
Mm-hmm.
wire splitter for my bass drum
Mm-hmm.
or bass pedal. I can get because it's electric, by the way. People didn't know because I couldn't afford an acoustic. It's a really expensive one though. I'm trying to sell my case here. If I got a splitter and got a second pedal
Mm-hmm.
for just that, I could do double bass, which is one of the coolest sounds on the fucking planet.
Yeah,
Double bass drum, like double pedal.
yeah.
Holy fuck. That alone made me want to get into drums. And then I begged and begged and begged and got this set. And I haven't bought another one. I've only ever used this one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should, I don't know, try to work something out.
I always wanted to be in a band.
Well, you have a brother that plays guitar, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But he plays like slower songs. Like more actually like nice, calm songs.
right.
Whenever I want to play in a band as drums,
Yeah.
I want to be like on the verge of death. Like I want to be fucking sweating.
Okay.
Like my arms are about to fall off.
Right. But you can get to that, but why not just make a song? Like,
I've actually thought about that before
yeah, like,
because I have a whole notes like folder thing for like lyrics I've written out.
well, I mean, you're
Which is
basically
weird,
making the
but
beat of the song.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
only really the drums are.
right. So why don't you lay down a beat of the drum and then let him freestyle over it, let him add his thing, and then,
Then we got a song.
yeah, now you got a song you can upload or whatever. You know, between the two of you, maybe we could redo the intro and whatnot. Because you can both like he doesn't have to be here while you lay down the beat, because you're going to record it, put it on here. He's going to get that recording and then record over that, and then
Yeah,
there you go.
we can figure it out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I know we won't do it, but it's cool to think about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're definitely not going to do it.
All right.
Anyway, well, go get my damn food.